In 1986, a tiny Swiss workshop struggled to survive as a forgotten assembler of foreign bikes. By 2000, billionaire Andy Rihs arrived, determined to build the Porsche of race machines and defy cycling's elite. But BMC's rise to global prestige would demand more than ambition. It would face scandal, crisis, and reinvention. How did this outsider company transform into a legend? The answer begins in Grenchen, and it is not what you would expect. In Grenchen, a town known more for watchmaking than cycling, Bob Bigelow set out in 1986 with a simple operation, assembling Raleigh bikes for the Swiss market. His workshop was modest, tucked among factories that produced some of the world's most precise timepieces. The culture of Grenchen was defined by meticulous craftsmanship and mechanical discipline. Bigelow, an American with no grand pedigree in cycling, relied on local expertise to keep his business afloat. But the company's existence was fragile. When the distributor license for Raleigh was revoked in 1994, the future looked uncertain. Rather than close shop, Bigelow stamped a new name onto the down tubes: BMC. The bicycle manufacturing company was born out of necessity, not ambition. Production was small, sales were local, and the brand meant little beyond the borders of Switzerland. Yet the decision to stay in Grenchen was not accidental. The region's network of precision engineers and machinists offered an edge, even if BMC's bikes were still a far cry from the luxury machines that would follow. For nearly a decade, BMC remained a niche player, overlooked by the cycling world, overshadowed by bigger brands, and limited by the scale of its resources. But the seeds of something greater had been planted, rooted in a town where every gear and bearing was expected to run flawlessly. The company's survival depended on more than just stubbornness. It needed vision, capital, and a reason to believe that a Swiss-made bike could compete with the world's best. Andy Rihs stepped into BMC's story in 2000, bringing with him the kind of ambition that could change the fate of any company. Known for building Phonak into a global leader in hearing aids, Rihs saw more than a struggling bike brand in Grenchen. He saw the chance to create something extraordinary. He did not just want to make bikes, he wanted to make the best bikes in the world. His mantra was simple and bold: the Porsche of race bikes. Rihs poured his own resources into BMC, determined to build a company that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the giants of the cycling world. His first moves were decisive. Rather than outsourcing production, Rihs insisted on keeping engineering and manufacturing in Switzerland. He invested in new technology and in-house capabilities, convinced that precision and control were non-negotiable. This commitment set BMC apart in an industry where most brands relied on overseas factories. Rihs believed that Swiss engineering could become a global calling card, and he was willing to bankroll the leap. By 2003, BMC was shipping bikes beyond Switzerland for the first time. The company's reach expanded into Europe and North America, carrying with it a reputation for quality and innovation. Rihs's vision extended beyond the factory floor. He wanted BMC bikes in the hands of professional racers, tested at the highest level. The foundation was set for a new era, one driven by technology, racing ambition, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. BMC's partnership with the Phonak cycling team threw the Swiss brand into the international spotlight almost overnight. By 2002, BMC bikes were being ridden in the world's toughest races, their frames pushed to the limit by athletes chasing Tour de France glory. The Promachine SLC-01, launched in 2004, earned industry awards for its radical carbon construction and featherweight design, with the frame weighing less than 1 kilogram. Suddenly, BMC was no longer a local curiosity. The Promachine's acclaim fueled demand, and the Phonak squad's high-profile presence gave BMC a credibility boost that few young brands ever experience. But the same partnership that elevated BMC also exposed it to risk. In 2006, the Phonak team became embroiled in a doping scandal that shook the cycling world. The fallout was immediate and severe. Phonak was disbanded, sponsors vanished, and the reputation of everyone connected to the team, BMC included, was called into question. For Andy Rihs, the man who had poured his fortune and reputation into both ventures, the crisis was personal. Years of investment and ambition now hung in the balance. The promise of Swiss precision was suddenly shadowed by doubt. With the collapse of Phonak, BMC faced a hard truth. Technical innovation alone would not be enough to restore trust. The brand needed to reclaim its identity and prove itself on its own terms. In 2007, Rihs responded by forming the BMC Racing Team, a new squad built from the ground up. The pressure was on to deliver not just speed, But integrity. The next chapter would demand a new approach to engineering, one that could withstand the scrutiny of a world no longer willing to take promises at face value. The Teammachine began as a question inside BMC's engineering rooms. How far could Swiss precision take a racing bike? In 2002, BMC set out to build a frame for the Phonak team that would outperform anything on the road. The answer lay in carbon fiber, but not just any carbon. BMC's engineers embraced monocoque construction, molding the entire frame as a single piece to shave grams and boost stiffness. This approach allowed them to fine-tune every contour, every junction for strength and aerodynamics. Early wind tunnel sessions revealed that even minor tweaks could save precious seconds. But speed was not enough. Comfort mattered too, especially on the roughest stages. That is when BMC developed the tuned compliance concept, spelled TCC, a method of layering carbon to absorb vibrations without dulling the bike's response. The real leap came in 2010, when the Impec Lab opened its doors in Grenchen. Here, prototypes were tortured and refined using data from pro riders and strain gauges. By 2013, the Teammachine SLR-01 set a new benchmark, blending race day lightness with the resilience demanded by the world's best cyclists. Cadel Evans crossed the finish line in Paris in July 2011, bringing BMC its first Tour de France victory. The image of Evans, draped in yellow, became a turning point, not just for the rider, but for the Swiss brand beneath him. A year later, Philippe Gilbert surged up the Kauberg and claimed the rainbow jersey at the 2012 World Championships, again aboard a BMC. These wins were more than trophies. They were proof that Swiss engineering could conquer the world's hardest races. The success didn't stop on the road. In 2014, Julian Absalon rode a BMC to the top of the podium at the Mountain Bike World Championships, dominating both European and World Cup circuits that season. Teamwork also paid off. The BMC racing team clinched the UCI Team Time Trial World Championship in 2015, showing that speed and precision could be scaled to the collective. In 2016, Greg Van Avermaet sprinted to Olympic gold in Rio, adding another chapter to BMC's story of elite triumphs. By 2020, Jordan Sarro's four-stroke carried him to a world championship in mountain biking, further cementing BMC's reputation across disciplines. Each title, each medal became a stamp of authenticity, validation that every gram, every angle, every innovation mattered when the world was watching. BMC's influence stretches far beyond the tarmac. In 2007, the four-stroke series set a new benchmark for mountain bikes, blending the company's carbon expertise with a full suspension design. This move was not just about expanding the catalog, it was about proving that Swiss engineering could dominate off-road as well as on-road. The four-stroke quickly became a fixture at the front of World Cup races, earning gold at the 2020 Mountain Bike World Championships and Olympic gold in Tokyo. BMC's reach did not stop with mountain bikes. In 2019, the URS platform redefined what a gravel bike could be: light, aggressive, and ready for any surface. Riders looking for adventure found a machine that matched their ambition. BMC's commitment to racing remains as sharp as ever. In 2021, the brand partnered with AG2R Citroën, supplying their World Tour squad with the latest Teammachine and Time Machine models. That same year, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, a force in women's cycling, added her name to BMC's legacy, bringing world-class results across disciplines. Today, BMC stands as a symbol of versatility and performance. Its bikes raced and ridden on every continent. In a world where technology and tradition often collide, BMC proves that relentless innovation still sets the pace. As global cycling pushes boundaries on tarmac, gravel, and trail, the standard for excellence keeps rising. The next breakthrough may already be in the making. What do you think comes next?